Well, we did everything we could to make as much of this finish this season as we could possibly do. And our guys just came through the last couple weeks this season to go ahead and capture that moment when, it doesn't really even exist outside of, your imagination. But to see our guys play this well, to finish this season and do so many cool things, it's really, really rewarding. And I don't think they're going to schedule a parade in Seattle. I don't think there's going to be a parade, Michael, okay? But right now we kind of don't care about that. It was putting it together, playing like we were capable so that we could see the future, and it was it was really, really fun. It was a fun football game. It was a hard game, too. Behind it from the start, we had a terrible play. They get ahead and all that, and that didn't matter. And then we get behind in the third quarter. That didn't matter. These guys just were not going to let it happen today, and just really proud of so many things. I mean, there's so many things to talk about. It was a big finish for us, and I'm really fired up about that. I don't know where you start, but I'm going to start up front. Offensive linemen, you guys, I don't know what you've been thinking or talking about these guys, but these guys can freaking block. And they've been doing it, and we finally found them and kind of discovered how efficient they were. And you saw Rashad Penny just take off this last month of the season and just be incredibly effective. And I'm so fired up that they get to know that, rush for a couple hundred yards, back-to-back games. Man, when does that happen, in the league? That doesn't happen. And so it's all of them. They all did it, from Dwayne on the left side, across the board, even different guys, which tells you that the guys doing the coaching are coaching these guys up. We had guys banged up. We didn't have Gabe today, and D. Lou had missed 2 weeks, and he came in and played good. Posick, a terrific job. And how about Jay Curran again, man? That's just great stuff, and without Dis today, who's a big factor for us. Anyway, so I just really fired up about those guys. Want to recognize them, but it also it brings you to Rashad Penny, and he just looks like you can't tackle him. I think you guys check it out. I think he tied for the most 25 plus yards gains in the season this year with Jonathan Taylor, who's up for MVP and all that kind of stuff, with 8. I think he's got 8 of them. If he had another little bit longer field a couple times, he'd have had that. He did it in a third as many attempts. I guess you guys know that number, but that's crazy stuff, and it just validates, that how effective he's been. Russell had a huge finish in these last couple games to get it done. He sets an all-time mark today. Wins for a guy starting his career, and he was tied with Peyton going into the game, and to come out of that as being the winningest guy to start his career, that's famous, cool stuff. And Wags was with him all the way along the way. I don't know if anybody keeps track of linebackers, but he was with them along the way as well. But that's a fantastic accomplishment, and you all that are with us, you've watched it and you've seen him, and he's just had a fabulous start to his career, and so. The thing, 3 touchdowns a day, nice efficient day, and he had 1 pass where he got through the pick on, but another excellent day coming through. Big day on third down for us. I think 8 out of 12 or something like that. It just shows you how you can do, you can be successful when you convert. And the guys came through in a lot of really cool situations. So. There's just so many things that were fun today. Jordan Brooks had 20 tackles today and sets an all-time franchise record. Shoot, man, what a great start to his early part of his career also. He's just a baller. And it's too bad Bobby wasn't out here to battle him for it, because I would love to see those guys go neck and neck at it, during the course of the game. But and then he had a big recovery on the kick too, the onside kick. Anyway, go ahead. I'm just blabbering. What I'd say is he dislocated his ankle on the field, and they put it back, and he's going to stay here in town and get fixed up here. Tyler Lockett's going to stay with them, and a couple of our people are going to stay with him because he can't get back out today. Just a heartbreaker, because everybody loves this guy so much because of who he is. He is just such a embedded leader. The character, the toughness, all of the stuff that he stands for. And guys just love this guy. So he crushed everybody, and it wasn't ignored in the fact the way they finished. They finished for him, and heart's broken for him getting hurt like that. But he'll be back. He'll make it back. There's some months in here, but he'll get back for the season next year, and so that's the positive side of it.
I couldn't hear. Did you say it was broken?
dislocated it and he broke his fibula.
So he broke his
Ankle.
Okay.
He dislocated his ankle and he broke his fibula. And there's, whatever, I don't know the details. That's probably more than I should have said. Knowing that I don't know anything about this stuff, so.
Did you figure that how stunned they were visibly upset on the field after
Sure.
it happened?
Yeah, how do you come back from that? But they did. And it just showed you the resolve, also the commitment to Q and how much they love him, and they weren't going to let this thing get away. And we had a huge finish to this game, huge finish. Pass rush at the finish, running the football and to run the clock out and win a game. And I mean, all of this stuff that we were able to do was really, it just doesn't look like a team that has the record we got.
What was the scene like in the locker room? What did you tell your guys?
We had a blast. Save the recognition about Quandre. We had a blast in there. Talking about winning in the fourth quarter. That's what we did today, and we really hadn't had that moment. So I kind of hammed it up with the fellas, and I told them last night that when you win the Super Bowl, you stay up all night and you party all night long, and you don't wuss out and not show up for the 6 a.m. party at the pool at the hotel when you're there. And so I knowing that we weren't staying here, I told them I'll meet him at the hot tub in the VMAC, at 6 a.m. with your terry cloth robe from the hotel and all that kind of stuff. So. We saw right through this opportunity and saw through what the finish we wanted, and the intention that we had set out there was clear to go get this game, and it's exactly how we do it when you play in championship situations.
Can a finish like this do for you guys going into the offseason?
It's really important. It's really important. It's an important step. We needed to kind of respond and feel right about it. Our guys know how we can play, and that's it just took too long, unfortunately.
What was the key? I mean, you win 4 of the last 6 games. What do you
Look at us run the football. Look at us run the football, We started to convert on third downs, and we were able to take advantage of the good, solid play that we were getting out of our defense, and our kicking game was extraordinary all year long. So we just put the elements together, and you can see how it works. You don't have to throw for 400 yards to win football games. You got to be able to mix it and control the ball and be dominant at the line of scrimmage, and our guys were able to find that in the I don't know how many games it is and what we've been averaging, but we've been averaging 160 yards a game rushing or something like that for 5 or 6 weeks anyway. That's it's just a winning formula. So I'm real. Anyway.
You mentioned third down. You guys had a 3rd and 16, a 3rd and 10, a couple 3rd and 8s.
Yeah.
Is that just Russ being on it?
Yeah, he did a couple scrambles and worked around, found an extra shot a couple times, but we executed pretty well and throughout. And the guys made the plays, made the catches too.
John mentioned that you guys talked pregame, and it was just kind of weird, that you weren't going to play this game and then look at the scoreboard for playoffs, seeding.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't. I just didn't face that. I didn't face the reality of that. That's why this totally was selfish and for me that we were playing these 2 games to win the NFC Championship game against Detroit last week and then go win the Super Bowl here in Arizona. And so because I just wanted to have some way of dealing with it, and so that's why I threw it out to these guys, and they had fun with it, and it was a good way to finish. I don't ever want to do that again.
Do you have any question in your mind about whether you're going to be part of the future?
No. I'm in great shape.
What do you expect the conversations with Jody Allen to be like in the coming days?
Like we've always had, really pointed at figuring things out, and she's very analytical, and she wants to make sure that we're doing everything we can possibly do to get everything right. And she's a terrifically competitive person in that regard, and she doesn't want any stone unturned. And exactly the way I look at it. I mean, I just feel so connected to that thought that that's what we do. But to have your owner talk that same way, that's a competitive perspective, and it goes back to the old line we used to have. We're in a relentless pursuit of finding the competitive edge in everything we're doing. That's what it is. That's what she represents. So. We'll try to do a great job of exchanging the information and then setting course for making sure that we give ourselves the best chance to be champions.
How does she view what's happened this season?
I don't know. I'm not. That's it. I'm not talking anymore about her. She can speak for herself. She's been with us the whole time. She's been awesome. That's what I don't have anything to I'm not going to give you any inside scoop, okay? So don't ask.
At this point, do you expect status quo for everyone's coming back, the key leadership and the players?
No, at this time of year, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of tough decisions that we make, always. There's huge decisions that we make in all directions, and that's what you do when you're competing. You got to figure it out. So that we're going to do like we always do. This is no different than any other year. It's just sooner. We're at this topic sooner.
Russell, finished with, I guess he had a couple bad plays today, maybe, but in general, Russell today,
I thought he played a terrific game today. I mean, he made the plays we needed to win a football game. The run on the goal line, holy cow! That's against one of the best tacklers in the NFL, and he was swashbuckling in the end zone, man. It was awesome. It was a great job. Swashbuckling.
Would you say
That was swashbuckling.
Would you say finishing the way you guys did, and then look at your point differential, you guys weren't getting smoked in the games you did lose, that may be a signal for you that you don't need to make a bunch of major changes?
We've been so close. We've been so close. Throughout the whole season. The biggest difference that everybody had to suffer through was the close games that we didn't win. Because we've been winning those games for years. And I think we were 7-1 in the similar type of score situation at the end of the game last year. And we were 0-5 or something like that, and so that's the whole season. That's it. So you can look at all the millions of things and criticize this and that. That's where they really went to. But there's reasons why. But it's clear. We just didn't finish our games the way we need to, and it's always been such a huge point of emphasis for me to show that we understand how to get that done. And so it was really frustrating this year that these one game and then another game and another game. I mean, look at the teams and the Titans. I mean, just look down the schedule of these games that were so close. But that's the league, and when you make our kicks, let's go a little bit farther. Last year, we didn't miss a field goal. Well, had we missed a few field goals last year, it might not have been 12-4. So that's how close it is. We forget how that, but that's the truth. And everybody misses some field goals. How can you expect a guy to never miss? You can't. And we had a phenomenal season last year, and Jay did a terrific job finishing up this year and getting on point. Made everything down the stretch. A beautiful comeback for him. And so that's one way you could have changed the outcomes, and adjusted them some. So.
Tyler Lockett, what did you think of it?
Oh, I thought he played a beautiful game again. Fantastic win on third down for the touchdown, both times down there. He had a great catch, a low ball catch on another big conversion. Russ was on the move on that one. So what's new about that? Finding Tyler on the move, just great stuff. And he had a great football season. And thankfully, he had the healthiest season he's had in a long time. He was really able to go week in and week out, practice every day. I don't know if he missed a practice all year long. We may have given him a rest somewhere, but and he goes into the off season with that. That's for our guys. It's so crucial that they're able to go into the off season and feel healthy and not have to be facing surgeries and recoveries and all that kind of stuff. And so many of our guys, we made it through. We're not everybody, but grateful for all of those guys that do have that opportunity.
Did you have punt block on when the punter dropped the ball?
I'll never tell.
The contributions you got from Cody Thompson and Josh Jones and guys that were on practice squad.
Thanks for bringing up Josh in particular. Yeah, Cody got a chance to, he recovers the fumble, I guess, that Homer was there. I think the guy didn't kick it, right? He didn't kick it, so that becomes a fumble and a turnover for us in that regard. So it's just, we were talking about it all game long. We had a shot. Our guys really were fired up because they knew they had a shot. We got close a couple times. And so that was a beautiful execution, a huge moment in the game to get that done. But you mentioned Josh Jones. Josh Jones had, just to make it through the game. Josh and I sat down last night after everything was done, the meetings were over and all, to just talk about, because I don't know all of his history. I know some of it because we wanted to draft him way back when, but I went through all of his teams that he's been through and all that, and I just wanted to get him clear thing because I knew he's going to have to play a lot, and just get him relaxed and not having to try too hard, try to do too much, and we kept talking about just football, just because I wanted him to be calm in this and come through for us. He did a great job today. Made a couple plays and just did a great job. And all of a sudden he's out there with Nigel and those two guys are trying to figure it out. I was really, really happy for him, and he's gonna be in the mix coming back around. And this guy's a second-round draft pick, and we loved him coming out, and so to have him in our program, I think is a real positive.
DK mentioned he might need foot surgery going forward. Do you have any clarity on that?
DK said that?
Yeah, he said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got to figure it out because it's bothered him all year. and that's why he couldn't practice, and we had to just gauge it. We were trying to get 1 day a week in where he could work hard to get his timing down, but it wasn't enough for a young guy moving up and growing with with the throwing game and all that to get everything he could get out of the season. He had a fantastic year and a bunch of touchdowns, a bunch of big plays and all that. But so we'll find out. We don't know the answer to that yet. We'll look at it hard. But I mean, he did a marvelous job to just keep hanging in there, fighting through it, and never missing a game, and all that. So we're really proud of him.
What's this injury?
He's got a little spur or something like that that's in the wrong place, and it's really aggravated. And I'm not exactly sure what they do about that. So
Is Tyler the only player
I called
staying?
it a spur. That's a stretch for me. Pardon me.
Is Tyler the only player staying? Quandre?
That's the only one. He came to me to ask if that was all right. So that's the only guy I know. I think so.
Ugo kind of started at the safety spot today, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So how did you feel?
He did fine. I'd have to look at the film on that one because I didn't see all of the plays he had a chance to. We didn't tackle as well as we needed to today. I thought we were sloppy in our tackling in the secondary, but it was a really nice job of him. He played the whole game, which is the first time he's had a chance to do that, and so he came through.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.